Hey guys, I'm back for some more Art of War 3. And in this map, I'm going to go up against a Confederation officer in the map Whirlwind, and of course we start with scouting. I immediately upgraded my HQ to level 2, so I can progress faster in the game. And we do strong with scouting here, collecting the containers one by one. And right here, I'm scouting my enemy, and I can see he has HQ level 2, along with 3 supply centers, 1 power plant, and the basic build. And I'm building an extra 2 more supply centers, and now I go for HQ level 3. Of course, I use my blue boost to get that extra resources. And now I upgrade my assault vehicle factory to level 2 and start building my avia factory. And I scout some of the containers on the ocean, and the reason why I didn't collect 2 of those containers on the ocean was because my Wi-Fi disconnected for a little bit. And while scouting the enemy base with my hawk, I see that he is also going for vertex. And seeing that his airfield is pretty strong, I go back. I start building up some anti-air towers and start making jaguars. And on the second run, I see that my enemy has put up some good anti-air and has lots of assaults guarding his base. Now I go HQ4 to get those extra hawks out so I can take down my enemy. And I just used a Kaiman to scout, although it wasn't shown on screen. I used a Kaiman to scout. And now I take up my 2 hawks, just in case, because I thought that he would use his vertex to attack sometime now. And now I have 2 airfields to double the hawk production, along with some supply boosts. And right there, you can see that the vertex has aimed at my shipyard. Of course, I was a little late on that anti-air. I guess he attacked it because I think his ocean was really bad. So by attacking the shipyard, he won't have to deal with that. Because as you can see, he doesn't have any torpedo platforms. Now I pick up my 8 hawks, so I can attack his base with a red air attack boost. And now that I attacked his airfield, he lost 2 vertexes from the cannons of my hawk, and his vertex are flying. Now I build extra supply centers because, whoa, look at that. He has 9 supply centers right there. So now I'm pretty confident that this guy is not scouting, but camping. So I make up some jaguars, and I upgrade my special vehicle factory, so I can start making chameleons. Now I start chameleon production, and I regularly use my hawks just in case that guy has vertex incoming. I use that armadillo as a decoy, so I thought that he would pull his vertex out so I can snatch some of his vertex. But that didn't happen. And now I scout the terrain, clear out all the remaining assaults that are in the middle of the map so I can move my chameleons. And I can see that he has Thors out. Thors have bombed my airfield. which is really unlucky. Thors are only a little bit slower than Hawks, so if you don't catch them at the right moment, the Thors get away. Which is why Thors are kind of good when bombing bases. And of course, as you can see, I lost 4 Hawks. And in a retaliation strike, I move my units. And of course, I put the cloud so I can cover them. But his vertex snatched some, because my chameleon's fog radius is only maxed out for rank 18. And now I move in my troops. And this, he basically has no assault vehicle factories. The only thing he has is Thors and vertex. Apparently he's not using his Thors, I don't know why. So I use the opportunity and deploy onto siege. And now I'm snatching out a bunch of power plants. Now this is really bad. The AI for moving those units were really bad. And as you can see here, I was moving to HQ5. And now as my chameleons ran out of fog, the vertex snatched all my units. And of course I'm building the nuclear launcher. And I use one of my Hawks to scout. I build some extra anti-airs to defend if need be. And now I move my 4 Hawks, so just in case a bunch of vertex comes, I'll be secured for a little bit. And I put that extra air raid warning boost. And right now, you can see a bunch of Thors have come. And it looks like he's going for my HQ. Now I put a air raid warning boost. And I take down all the vertex as much as possible. And as you can see, there are only 2 vertex escaped. Which is kind of good. In my case, because I could put up the HQ rebuilding boost. And I won't have to sacrifice so many resources. While airplanes aren't like that replenishable. Like you can't get airplanes with a boost. So this little group I used as like a little distraction to get his mind away from my base. So I can build a nuke. And of course you can see my Hawks are going, just scouting the field. And he just destroyed my nuclear center. And I don't care about that, so now I'm building a bunch of units. And now I used my Hawks as a little distraction, hoping he might get his vertex up and follow my Hawks. But wow, look at how many power plants he has. Either this guy doesn't upgrade his administrative buildings, or this guy really loves to build a lot of those. And now I use this little group as a retaliation / distraction group, and I move my Hawks to snatch some of his vertex. And after he lost a few vertex, he retreats. And now I move my group closer and closer, and start building this nuclear missile. And as you can see right there, he has a bunch of torrents. And look at those torrents damage. Many Confederation officers underestimate torrents, but torrents are really good in defending against chameleons. Now, I really wonder why this guy didn't send his vertex out sooner, but he sent his vertex later. And now he's using his torrents to force fire. I don't think this guy's torrents had max range. And right now, my nuclear missile is almost ready. So I keep distracting him with my units. And I fall back, although he took out my chameleon. And now, as his vertex destroyed the last bit of units, I nuke this guy. Right there so I can take down his anti-air towers. And with that nuclear blast, he lost 2 of his airfields, and I move in my Hawks and maneuver them to take down the remaining airfields and the anti-air tower. And I take down his Avia factories, so he cannot build any more jets or bombers. And after that run, this guy only has supply centers and power plants. And by now, since I have the advantage, I decided on doing contracts. And the contract I had to do was building a bunch of Albatross bombers. In theory, this guy could rebuild really fast, but I don't think he did. I didn't get the surrender message on this battle yet, so I really don't know what he was doing. Maybe his internet disconnected? And I decided to nuke his power plants. And I keep producing bombers. And I decide to use my Hawks and take down his HQ, so I know he will never rebuild once again. I think it's really likely that this guy rage quitted while I nuked him. Like, maybe just like put his phone down. I don't know. And I use my Albatross bombers to take down those torpedo platforms. Using bombers is pretty satisfying for me, like seeing those bombs just drop on. Like, look at that. It just looks pretty satisfying for me. And now I use the remaining Hawks to take down some of his remaining buildings, and I set the rally point of my new units at the enemy base and start making units. And now I finish this guy off, and it's a good game for him.